Get ready for the next iteration of you on your path to becoming wealthy. On this show, you'll get the insider's view on wealth creation, the class none of us got taught in school, with my co-host, daughter, and beginning investor, Sophia Bosch. And now, let's get started. Welcome to Becoming Wealthy. I'm your host, Michelle Bosch, my co-host,
Sophia Bosch.
We are talking today about our plans for the summer, specifically summer camps, and the things that you, or the different opportunities that you have been evaluating, in these months leading up to the summer. And so what did you decide on doing, Sophia, this summer?
So this summer I'm doing a 2-week business course at Oxford through a certain company or something. It's like you live in the dorms, you take the classes. It's academic, but yeah, it should be fun.
Okay, so let's back up now that we know what you're doing and where you're going. What got you started with thinking that you wanted to do something this summer? Like, how different did you want this upcoming summer to be as opposed to the one that, we had last year?
Okay, so last year, I go through, I feel like I'm always not doing enough, which can be bad in certain aspects because I get overwhelmed quickly, or not quickly, but I do grow a capacity to that, but I still get overwhelmed. But last summer, it was a lot of fun and play, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong. It was great. We had probably the best summer we've had in years.
Especially after COVID,
yeah. But I felt like I was missing a little bit something, especially that I'm applying to colleges. They need to see that in my free time, I'm doing something to keep advancing my academic life or what I'm interested in, things like that during the summer months.
Yeah.
So I want to, plus going to England.
Yeah, that's going to be an amazing...
Oxford summer course, that doesn't sound too bad.
No, that sounds like an amazing experience. I know you also mentioned that you felt like you were in complete free fall last year.
Yeah.
You had basically no structure, and as a result of the no structure...
I could not bring myself to do much. I was just laying around, which is not the worst thing in the world. But I needed a little bit of structure, for sure.
Exactly. So basically, we figured, we can come up with our own structure, or we can look for programs and areas that you're interested in pursuing in the future, and have them deliver a little bit of structure. And so what got you excited about this particular program as opposed to others? Because I know that we were looking at a few other links. We were looking at possibly an arts summer camp in
Italy.
In Italy. You were looking at the Cambridge one as well.
Okay.
So what got you decided for Oxford?
So I was looking at 2 at Oxford, or 2 different ones at Oxford, through different companies, and then 1 at Cambridge, and then 1 in Italy, I believe Florence. The Florence one was just fun. They had barely anything academic. It was cooking classes. It was art. Museum walks, drawing classes, studio art, photography, all fun stuff that I personally would love. It sounded great to me, but I just didn't know if that was the right thing for me. And then I was looking at a Cambridge one, and their website, so I went deep diving into their websites, and the Cambridge website, or the company,
at least for that program
that we were recommended, it might fit someone else's views, but they had a business course that I was interested in. But the whole thing, the whole website, just in general, seemed a bit too structured. They had every single minute of every single day planned out, and it felt like it was almost the word sterile. comes to mind. Like very like clean and like no like real like spark or anything was there for me with it. So I decided against that one. And then the 2 Oxford programs, one ended up looking better, like the business program. Like I watched the videos. Of course, the videos on their websites are crafted to be persuasive, but one looked better than the other. So
But there was something about the people and the kids in the video.
Oh yeah, the kids, like they seemed more like lively and like really did want to be there. And so that's the one I ended up picking.
Okay, wonderful. So basically your environment and the learning environment and your peers and the associations that you were going to have played a big role in deciding in favor of this one along with the actual course.
The other one, the business course in the other one, the room was just filled, like they had, especially for the business course, I was looking at those videos. They did like pano view, a pano view of like the room. There was not a single girl in there. It was all guys. I'm like, if this is what it attracts, I'm like, I want a little bit of diversity. I'm not scared of it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like.
Yeah, and that happens, especially in the business world.
I don't mind it. It would be actually good to like be in that environment, I feel like, and learn how to navigate that. But like, still, I didn't want that.
Yeah, makes sense. And as you get older, you are gonna find that in your journey. Certain industries are going to be much more, dominated by men, and you're going to bring that touch of feminine and different outlook and different perspective, and it's going to be great. And we need more girls, actually, in those environments to, bring a different viewpoint to the conversation and to the table. Okay, so then, what was the application process like?
Okay, so they had a spot in their website to apply, and it was like you first had to apply for it, and they said yes or no.
What kind of questions did you have to answer?
It was like, in like a certain amount of words or whatever, describe yourself, your academic life, what you like to do. Just like describe yourself so they can get to know me as a person, what I like to do, why am I picking the business course, what experiences I have in the past with business, things like that.
Okay, wonderful. And so you submitted that. I'm hoping it wasn't too lengthy, or was it a lot of questions?
It wasn't that long.
Okay,
it
wonderful.
Was pretty.
So you submitted that, and
probably a week later, I got the response back saying that I got in. They want me there. And then with that came with an interview.
Okay.
So just to talk with, like, it's basically the equivalent of the admissions officer or something. To like get to know me a little bit more. And they liked what they saw, obviously, but just to like verify, check.
And how long was that interview?
It was like 10 minutes, easy peasy. But it was early in the morning. Yeah. Because of the time difference.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so now what are you doing to prepare? What are some of the things that we're looking to prepare, as far as not just things to pack, but things to do before we get there? Yeah.
They gave us a reading list.
Okay.
So like, they don't expect us to read all like 20 books, but it's like, make sure you look at these chapters of the book, or just read a couple of these, like to just start getting yourself in that mindset and to be prepared for the concepts being presented. And apparently with the business course, you partner with the technology majors of the program, and you design an app. So you basically come up with a business model. So you get presented with all this information, like marketing strategies, whatever, like a little bit of everything. And you come up with your own idea and you create an app. With the technology student, and like the computer science
I'm excited
people.
to see, because I know that in that final presentation, parents actually get to attend.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, and it's kind of like a mini Shark Tank almost. Like you have to present it, be like
pitch your idea.
Yeah,
basically.
pitch your idea, and I think it's like a competition almost.
Yeah.
So
wonderful. Well,
it should be fun.
Something else that I don't know if it has been in your radar, but at least on the emails that I have received, as a parent, of course, the tuition, which that was a consideration. It's definitely
the budget
not.
Doesn't start till
I bet,
September 1st.
Yeah, I bet it's not cheap, and we are, of course, covering that for you since your budget for the school year, like you said, doesn't start until September 1st. And I think it's an experience that is going to give you a great opportunity to see what it's like to be in a college environment for 2 weeks on your own, figuring everything on your own, making sure that you get to classes on time, that you have time to socialize, that you have time to build the app, that you have time to work in a group, with whoever your teammates are going to be.
Hopefully I get good people.
Hopefully, is there a little bit of apprehension? What?
Yeah, I started thinking about, because some of my friends do go to boarding school, things like that, and they have roommates. And I'm just worried about, like, I don't know who else got admitted. Who knows? Like, because it wasn't a long paragraph or like a long essay that we had to submit about like who we are. So I don't know who they're admitting, and I'm like a little worried that they're gonna be absolute psychotic people.
No, I don't think so. I think that's what the interview is for. The actual interview is to make sure that they don't admit just complete crazies that look great on paper.
Yeah, exactly. On top of that too, I'm gonna be vulnerable and sleeping in the same room as, who knows, a crazy person.
It's not going to be a crazy person.
I don't think it will be like that. I'm excited to get to know, because I was seeing on their website too, like only 10% of the people I think are from the US. Then there's a lot of people from like the UK and other countries.
See, you have an opportunity now to extend your network.
Exactly. So I'm excited, but I don't know who those people are.
Well, I'm sure they're going to be fantastic people, because if
I
they
hope so.
thought
really do.
that you were fitting the profile for the kind of kid that they want there, I'm thinking that it's going to be equally smart and nice, kind, driven kids as well. So
I really do hope so.
I think it will be, but we can always do an episode where we debrief about the whole Oxford, Scholastica experience.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing that perhaps you were not, having in your radar, but that it is been brought to our attention, is the fact that we need to make sure now that we have a valid passport, which you do, because we travel quite a bit. That we don't require any visas into the UK, which we don't with an American passport. So you're good there, and that the tuition is being paid before a deadline of March. Sometime in March, at the end of March 31st. Absolutely. So those are some of the other considerations, as well as what to pack and how to dress, and for the Oxford experience. You did have from someone else a little bit of advice as to how the dress code in this school, in this program, compares to the dress code elsewhere. I know you had someone that said that basically at Oxford they expect you to look a little bit more professional.
I think I asked the administration lady,
the admissions person,
what is the dress code, or what the dress code was, and she said look presentable, so that means not my typical baggy sweatpants and sweatshirts. But something nice, like probably what I'm wearing, jeans and a nice looking shirt. Probably.
And I'm sure you're gonna probably have to have a jacket and a few sweaters because
Yeah, jacket, few sweaters, but it is summer, so.
yeah.
But then I also have to have a couple nice outfits, one for graduation,
Mm-hmm.
and one there's like a ball or something, like
Wonderful.
a dance.
Wonderful. I'm excited for you. Well, Sophia, so that's pretty much a wrap as to, you know, the process that you went in terms
Yeah.
of selecting, comparing your past summer to how you
Oh, I
wanted this
did
summer.
also have to send, like they asked for a teacher recommendation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I sent it to my advisor, which he also has access to all my teachers. I didn't pick one specific teacher. I sent it to my advisor. He knows me very well. I believe they asked him a few questions about me, how I learn best, group setting, individual,
Okay.
one-on-one with the teacher, things like that.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, we will see if you would recommend this right now. You know,
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for the summer because
Yeah.
it'll come with a little bit of structure for you.
Yeah.
And with the opportunity to work, you know, with other people, meet a completely different
Yeah,
network.
because I'm pretty sure most people don't know anyone else going.
Exactly. No one is going to know anyone. So you're all going to be on the same boat.
Yeah.
And I hope you have a ton of fun. And then when we pick you up from that sometime in July, we're still traveling a little bit after. So we're going to be traveling before. And then you go to London. And then I wait for you. And then we're going to be traveling a little bit afterwards. So it's going to be a fantastic summer. It's going to be one of the best summers ever, I think.
I hope so.
So with that, guys, I hope this was helpful. If you have a kid or a teenager that is, you know, considering a summer program, there are so many to pick from. There was really the list was endless.
There's
both-
also stuff like here in the US too, like
yeah.
at Brown, Harvard, a bunch of like companies offer stuff at the big universities.
And what I do want to mention is that some of those have such amazing marketing and that you think almost that they're affiliated with the university. And I want to say that because it's happening in the campus of the university,
it doesn't mean that it's set up by the university.
Yeah. And sometimes you are having access to their professors and to their teachers because Sophia will be having that. But usually if you're looking into any of these summer programs as an opportunity to where you think that this is going to give you a better chance of admissions in the future with the university, it doesn't. That's basically what I wanted to say is that it doesn't, that they're usually completely separate processes of admissions, you know, for actual college.
Yeah, but I'm like thinking if they see that someone did it at their campus, figuring out like being on that campus, seeing if you like the campus does play a role, I feel like.
They probably...
Or like they see that you engaged in your free time, like during the summers, doing something that you want to further yourself and grow. Yeah. I'm sure it counts a little bit. Yeah. But like... It's not a guarantee. I know that.
Absolutely. That I want to, you know, make that distinction for sure that it doesn't, you know, affect the admissions process. I don't think it does positively or negatively, but at least they see, like you said, that you're doing something. Yeah.
Negatively.
Not at all. So if you're looking, you know, to have your teenager or your son or your daughter look into summer programs, there's many of those abroad. There's many of those here inside of the U.S. And it can be something relating to academics. It could be something relating, you know, to the arts, to specific personal interests.
You can find stuff in any like university or like large university or even like any city you want to go to, there's stuff there.
Yeah. So ask your school, ask your counselors. They normally have a list of, you know, summer programs that, you know, they are familiar with or that they highly recommend because they've had good experience from other kids attending. Yeah. So that's a great place to start. That's where we started, along with asking friends that have older kids that have attended summer programs in the past abroad. Yeah. And those are really great resources to help you narrow down and start looking at different websites and programs, and then hone in on the one that is best for you. So with that, thank you so much for being with us on another episode of the Becoming Wealthy podcast. We're excited to share once the end of the summer comes how Sophia's experience was, and looking forward to connecting with you guys on the next episode of the podcast. Thank you very much.